Now, I think that's a separate issue from what the recommendation is. Are we talking about the same thing, or are you talking about George making this stay tuned postcard with an
I think he's
update?
talking about a separate issue, 'cause I'm not sure what the issues are, I haven't seen.
Okay.
Steve's talking about, maybe George has, I've been away for the last week, so.
I'm just wondering how that,
The stay tuned postcard?
George's press releases and approval by the committee, or in conjunction with Steve, does that relate at all to what's written here about the committee review and release of a stay tuned postcard advising the community?
Well, in fact, I think George has gotten ahead of us by, he's doing exactly what I just asked.
He's already actively doing that?
He's saying, will you authorize the ad hoc committee, which is you and you, to meet with staff to come up with a postcard?
Okay.
So, are we authorizing them to do that? Is anybody?
And bring it back to the
contract?
Bring it back, yeah.
Yeah,
Bring it back, don't send it out.
yes. Okay, so then the addendum to that is, yes, we approve that request. And two, we appreciate that he coordinated with us and we'd like to do that going forward. How's that? That's the polite way to say that. Okay,
Okay,
great. Okay.
thank you for
Great.
clarifying
Still
that.
jet lagged.
I just,
Kind of lost in there a little bit.
I've got so much caffeine. I'll crash in about an hour.
We'll get you back.
Budget ad hoc committee, I don't think there's anything to discuss there. We talked about the funding of architecture. We talked about this 1.2, about this fiscal impact of the contract. I think what would be helpful is to understand project funding between now and when we have full donor funds.
What I have is you want to report in September.
Yes. That tells us how do we get from here to
Right.
we have donor funds committed in the bank and the council's free of financial liability.
I'll work with the finance
Okay.
director.
Does anybody have any other comments on
No,
that
I would, that's a good idea.
one? Okay. And I think recommendations, there is the project management ad hoc committee recommendations. What that is about, because I don't think this group has talked about it before, except very briefly, is when we are actually under construction, which is a long time from now, and maybe before that, at some point, Gordon and the PM may need a group to bounce things off of before a monthly meeting. And
Actually,
with,
what, if I may speak, what I was suggesting, we were asking for a liaison person to actually attend the weekly meetings. And it doesn't have to be the same person, so it doesn't have to be, one person figuring 52 weeks a year. You might set up 2 or 3 people and, they can coordinate amongst themselves in rotation. But it would be helpful to have a liaison from the committee because the committee members are gonna bring they may bring a sensitivity to a community issue or a design issue that staff may not have. So that was our recommendation.
so we don't have to vote on that or anything, it's just something to have in your mind. But, and I think that's
I think
it.
all 7 of you take a turn in rotation.
Does anybody see any other business?
Next week, please get.
Yes, that's